Hello students, welcome back to the chemistry class. So first topic for our today's class is crystallization. Let's first understand its definition, that is the process by which a pure solid in the form of crystal can be separated from its impure solution is called crystallization. So, for understanding this topic, we can perform an activity which is separation of pure copper sulfate from its impure sample. So, for this, first take some impure sample of copper sulfate in a china dish and add a small amount of water in it. So all impurities will float on the top of solution. Then we can filter out all the impurities. Then in order to remove water from the copper sulfate solution, we can evaporate it. Then we get a saturated solution. Now cover the solution with a filter paper and then leave it undisturbed at room temperature to cool. So after 1 day, we will obtain the crystal of copper sulfate in the china dish. So in this way, by the process of crystallization, we can obtain a pure sample of any substance from its impure sample. This process is also applicable for getting salt from seawater. Also students, crystallization is not same as evaporation, as evaporation occurs generally only on liquid, while crystallization can occur on the mixture of solid and liquid. Also, evaporation is used in the separation of mixed liquid or solid phase, while crystallization is used for formation of crystal. So students, this was all about crystallization. Now talking about our next topic, that is physical and chemical changes. Right. So what are the physical changes and what are the chemical changes? So physical changes are the changes in the state, shape, size and color, but there is no change in their intermolecular form. Also in physical changes, no new substances are formed. Example can be changing of ice to water or water to ice. So we can see that it is a temporary or reversible change. Also, stretching of a rubber band or melting of a candle are example of physical changes. Now, talking about chemical changes. So, the changes by which a substance change its intermolecular form is called chemical change. So, just opposite can be chemical change is a permanent or irreversible change. Then, increasing of height, burning of candle, explosion of bomb and growth of a tree, all these are the examples of chemical changes. Now, proceeding to our next topic, that is pure substances. Students, if you remember in our previous classes, we had discussed about matter and its classification, in which our pure substances topic was left. We had discussed about this topic in start, and let's see in detail. So, as we know, pure substances are classified into elements and compounds. So first, talking about elements. So what are elements? Simple sentences which is made up of only one type of substances are called only one types of substances are called elements, which means it comprises of a single substances, and if it is broken into pieces, no other substances can be found. Examples can iron, gold, lithium, sodium, potassium, etc. Also, elements are further classified as metals, non-metals and metalloids, right? So, metals are elements that can donate electrons in a chemical reaction. Also, metals are electropositive in nature. Examples are gold, silver, copper, sodium, iron, etc. Metal shows certain properties like they are lustrous, they are malleable, sonorous, and ductile in nature. Also, they conduct heat and electricity. Or we can say the metals are good conductor, right? And they are solid in state. But mercury is an exception, right? Mercury is a metal that is liquid in room temperature. Now, talking about non-metals. So, the elements that gains electrons are called non-metals. Also, they are electronegative in nature as they gain electrons, right? Examples are hydrogen, oxygen, iodine, chlorine, carbon, etc. Then talking about their properties, so non-metals show just opposite properties as compared to metals, that is, they are non-lustrous, they are non-malleable, they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Then, right? So, the non-metals characters are just opposite to the metals character, right? Okay, so then metalloids, they are the elements that have intermediate properties between metals and non-metals are called metalloids, which means metalloid shows some properties of metals and some properties of non-metals also. So, this was all about elements and classification of elements. Now, second classification of pure substances is compounds. So, students, the substances which are made up of two or more elements are called compounds. The compounds of a compound are always mixed in a fixed proportion. Example are water, carbon dioxide, sulfuric acid, etc. So, if we see for water, that is H2O, always hydrogen has two atoms. Here hydrogen has two atoms and oxygen has one atom. Water is always formed in a fixed proportion, that is 2:1. Okay. Also, students, remember that compounds are different from mixture, as compound has a fixed proportions and shows a totally different properties from their constituents particles, where constituents means the particles which are mixed to form a substance, while if we see mixture, they have a variable or different composition and they show similar properties as of their constituents particles. So, this was the basic difference between compounds and mixture. So, this was all about compounds. So, here we have completed our chapter, right? I hope every topic of this chapter is clear to all. See you in our next class, next chapter. Okay, thank you.